Oh yeah. Hello everyone. Salut tout le monde. Ici c'est Phil de Yoda's Workshop. Bienvenue à un autre épisode, la troisième épisode de Vintage Kids, brought to you by Yoda's Workshop and me. Alors, bonsoir tout le monde, j'espère que ça va bien. Bienvenue à cette troisième épisode, la troisième épisode de Vintage Kids, les vieux jeunes enfants. Cette semaine, hey Joe, how do you do? Welcome to this podcast. Bonsoir Jim, j'espère que ça va bien. As usual, if you guys are joining us for the first time, I do my best to do this podcast in bilingual options. So you're going to have to use your remote and press F1. No, I'm kidding. Je fais de mon mieux pour faire ce podcast en deux langues. So it's in French and it's in English almost at the same time. And it almost means the same thing as in French and as in English. Yes, I'm doing good, very good today. It's a busy week, busy week. We're moving my mom. She's moving to her new, sort of apartment. We're still selling stuff from the house. We sold the house last week. Crazy times. When one of your parents decided to go, well, he did not decide to go, but he ended up leaving for a better place. He joined the force. It means more than we could have expected as work time and logistic and papers and stuff. So yeah, it was a very, very busy week for my mom. My brother and I, and tomorrow morning we're moving her out. It's moving day tomorrow. So, we're not here to talk about moving stuff. We're talking about collecting stuff. Hey, Greg Marshall. You know that, Arson? Oh, it's true. I forgot. We could do this, gym thing. Yeah. So this week, on this week episode of The Vintage Kids, I decided to talk about, well, I said in the comments, the description, that it's our stories. I'm going to tell my story, but as you guys know, you always can comment on the side, and I read them, as I do my best to not miss any of them. Donc, cette semaine, j'ai pensé, I forgot. So I always say something in French, in English, and French, because we both have French and English viewers. You know, guys, that I live in Quebec, so many of our members or friends are French. Some have more problems than others to understand English. Donc, c'est en français et en anglais. And at the same time, you guys will probably learn more French. See? It's free! So, c'est gratis, as we say in Quebec. And we love the gratis. You know, gratis, free. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Joe. I just saw your comments. It's very, very kind from you guys. So it's good to see you here tonight. As usual, even if there's no viewers, I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell this little story. And the story that I want to talk about tonight, donc, comme je disais, même s'il y a une personne, deux personnes, zéro personne, je vais quand même faire une petite histoire, le sujet que je veux traiter ce soir. Et le sujet que je veux traiter ce soir, the subject that I want to talk about is the reason why we are today vintage kids. We all have our story. I love gratis aussi. See, gratis is fun, you know. Less you have to pay these, By the way, these are Canadian dollars, which is about worth nothing in the U.S. Anyway, you cannot even buy gas with that in the U.S., I think. Anyway, so yeah, we all have our stories. And I tried something. What's up, Greg? I tried something new. As you guys know, usually when I do my live sales or I do a claim sales or whatever, I use another program for my lives, so I have several cameras and stuff. But now I'm using just Facebook so I can see everyone's comments and interact with you guys easily. But I just saw that there are questions, and I did put up some questions this week, and it goes, I'm not sure if you guys can see it. See them, fermer, ouvrez la carte. I'm going to try, ouvrez la carte, ouvrez la carte. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work. But I just put up some questions, well, at least one. Did you saw the original trilogy in a cinema when you were young? So I don't know if you guys can answer this. I don't know if you guys can see the question. I'm trying stuff tonight. I'll always try stuff because I'm the guy that loves to try stuff. So yeah, if you guys can, well, I will ask it anyways. Yeah, so we all have our stories about the reason why we are considered vintage kids now. Not because only we're old, but because we have a relationship with Star Wars since we were very young, or others, or other toy lines. So we can't buy gas here either. Yeah, well, prices are crazy, man. Oh, saw the question and answered. All right, good. Perfect. So tonight I want to tell you my story about the reason why I consider myself a vintage kids. Donc je vais faire un peu mon histoire de la raison pourquoi je me considère comme un vintage kids. On a tous notre histoire avec une relation avec Star Wars quand on était enfant. Ou plus jeune, ou bien même n'importe quel autre toy lines qu'on a grandi avec. Et j'ai le goût d'en parler parce que je trouve que c'est intéressant, ça. On a tous quelque chose qui nous allume dans tout ce qu'on a passé à travers dans notre vie. Il y en a que littéralement ça les a sauvés. Il y a des gens qui étaient dans des familles pauvres, des familles en difficulté, des familles, puis surtout dans notre époque, les divorces n'étaient pas super populaires, c'était pas très commun. Ça peut être même des familles où il y avait de la violence, peu importe. Puis je sais que les enfants, j'en ai à qui j'ai déjà parlé, se retournaient automatiquement vers leurs jouets. C'était leur univers pour pouvoir se cacher en arrière de tout ça, tu sais. Thank you, Greg. What I just said in French. Oh, just once again, by the way, if you see that I keep on blabbering only in French, you can say, Phil, you've been talking in French for like 12 minutes. We don't understand shit. So you can just write it down in the comments, and I'll switch because sometimes I go over there and I forgot in which language I'm talking. So what I was saying is we all have that story with our toys. As when we were younger, and I know that for some people, these toys, Star Wars toys, or any toy lines, it was their getaway place, their happy place. I know that it's not every that's not in every family that everything goes perfectly and it's wonderful and stuff. I mean, back in the days, divorce were not really something that were popular, if I can say that, or accepted, or whatever, well viewed, or I don't know what the word to use. Bear with me, I keep freezing when I comment. Oh, I look. I'm kidding. I look. Everything looks okay over here. I don't know. Perhaps you're using Greg's, not Greg's, but you're probably using Kirk's internet connection in the basement. No, I'm kidding. So, yeah, so some kids had rougher childhood than others. Violence in the family, or like I said, divorce, or even death. I mean, you never know. And I know that these kids, some of our, just turned around and looked at these toys, and like a bubble was placed around us to protect us because we were in this universe. Okay, so let's start with my little story of what I remember and what I've seen on pictures, on videos. Well, not videos, it was like 8 mm films. Donc, moi, je vais commencer un peu avec mon histoire de comment est-ce que tout ça a commencé, du moins de ce que je me souviens, et de ce que j'ai vu sur photo, ben, sur des films en 8 mm. In 1977, en 1977, j'avais 3 ans. I was 3 years old in 1977. I'm pretty sure I did not see Star Wars Episode 4, well, the first one, A New Hope, in the movies, in the movie theater. Je suis pas mal sûr que j'ai pas vu Star Wars épisode 4 au cinéma. J'avais seulement que 3 ans. My brother, I have an older brother, which is 3 years older than me. And the first toys that I remember that we received as young kids, it was the $6 Million Man dolls with the briefcase, the magic briefcase there, with the office of the Oscar Goldman office from, and I mean, I loved that TV show. It was probably one of the first TV show that I really enjoyed, and it probably really opened my eyes on sci-fi, early sci-fi, because I mean, wow, this guy was like a semi-robot. He was strong and everything. So I mean, I fell in love with the $6 Million Man, and over here in French it was L'homme de 6 millions de dollars. And the sound was pretty much the same. So we had the dolls, and I even have some pictures, and I have some 8 mm movies, family movies, of us, me and my brother and my mom, opening these gifts. I mean, it's like, oh my God, those were the days. But like I said, I was 3 or 4 years old. Donc c'est ça, moi les premiers jouets c'était les jouets de l'homme de 6 millions, puis c'était même avant de commencer à avoir les bonhommes de Star Wars. Then what I remember, the first Star Wars toys that I remember playing with, because I don't remember receiving them, but I know that we received them. The first thing that I recall, did I bring the box? Where did I put the box? Oh, it's right here. It's right in front of my face, man. Okay. So, the first thing that I remember playing with, it's this. It's the Droid Factory. And I remember playing with my little R2-D2 and taking pieces out. And what I really, really enjoyed back then, and it's fun because now that I collect stuff, first of all, I was able to find an original box, which is pretty cool. It's not a Canadian box, it's just a regular box. What I really enjoyed back then was the blueprint book and I remember doing all of them. Perhaps not the big one at the end, or there's one that uses all the parts. The Monster Droid. I think I've lost too many pieces to make that Monster Droid back then. So, but I really enjoyed playing with this Droid Factory. Donc, le premier jouet, je me souviens, c'est vraiment le Droid Factory. Je me souviens de jouer avec ça. J'ai trippé sur les blueprints. C'était vraiment cool. And then in 1981, Empire Strikes Back came out. Ensuite, en 1981, Empire Strikes Back came out. And est sorti au cinéma. Once again, I don't remember seeing Empire Strikes Back in the movies. So maybe I saw it, but I don't remember clearly that I saw it in the movies. Yeah, you have to consider that back then in '81, I was 7 years old, so I would have probably remembered if I saw it in the movies. But I was a Star Wars fan, so somehow I did saw Episode 4. I don't know if it was on television or I don't remember, but I was really already a Star Wars fan because already when the Empire Strikes Back toys came out, I started receiving Empire Strikes Back figures. I got some notes. I just want to make sure that I don't forget anything. Um, yeah. So there's two things that I remember very clearly about my Empire Strikes Back toys. Il y a des affaires assez précises que je me souviens de l'époque des jouets d'Empire Strikes Back. There's one year that one time during these years, 81 or 82, one of my uncle that sadly passed away this week, but that's another story. He was like 93. Lived until last week, lived in Boston. So I remember that we made a trip all the way to Boston. Me, my brother, my dad, and my mom. And this uncle of mine is my mother's brother. Donc, je me rappelle, en 81-82, on a fait un voyage à Boston. On est allé voir mon oncle, le frère à ma mère, et on est descendu là en auto. We went there by car, start all the way from Montreal and went over there. And I was sick. It was during the, I think it was fall, c'était pendant l'automne, and I was really sick. I don't know, it was probably like COVID 3 or 4. It was certainly not 19. But anyway, I was really sick, and my brother was pissed at me because we were supposed to go see Montreal against Boston at the Old Garden. And we did not go see the game. And I remember my brother was pissed at me. You're sick now. Because of you, we're unable to go see the game. I remember The Empire Strikes Back coming out in the movies on the movie channel. Oh yeah, that's probably what happened. You're right. I just remembered that back in the days over here. I'm making just a parenthèse to talk about what you just wrote, Greg, because you're right. Over here in Canada, back in the days, well, in Quebec, probably not in English Canada, only in French over here, on Radio Canada, which is a Radio Canada, the national TV channel, whatever. On every Sunday night, there was something called Les Beaux Dimanches, the nice Sundays, and they were playing movies. So you had like the news at 10, or was it? I don't remember. Anyway, it was around 8 or 9, and after that it was the news, and they were always playing a movie. And I remember that back then you didn't know what was going to play. You didn't know that you had to be there, like you said, unless you had a VHS to record stuff. Donc, dans le temps, nous autres, on écoutait Les Beaux Dimanches. Puis je sais que je suis tombé sur Star Wars Épisode 4. On that show, I ended up watching Star Wars Episode 4 on Les Beaux Dimanches back then, which is a pretty something that I forgot, but just remember right now. So back to Boston, and I remember back in Boston, I was pretty sick, and I was sad that I could not do things with my brothers, my cousins, and my uncle or whatever, and visit Boston. So my mom, I remember my mom went to a store, and she bought me a few mint on card figures from Star Wars, so I could play. At least I have a new figures to play around over there, while others were like going and visiting stuff. My brother took me a few friends to see Empire. Oh, drive-in, man. Those were the days. The double features. Yes, it was a double features. It was a John Wayne movie. Wow, this is great, man. Yeah, the back then, I got so many great memories going at the drive-ins. Oh man, good old days. So I remember that my mother bought me some action figures, and I remember there were Empire Strikes Backs because I clearly remember receiving Bosk and Han Solo. That's clear as the Bespin one. So that I remember very clearly. So I know that I received these figures back there in this trip to Boston, and the biggest thing that I remember is at Christmas on the same year. Donc je me rappelle d'avoir reçu ces figurines-là à Boston. J'ai reçu Han Solo puis Bosk. Et c'était sur des cartes d'Empire Strikes Back. And they were not Canadian cards. They were on Boston. We're on Boston. And la chose que je me rappelle le plus de cette année-là, for Christmas, my mother bought a sealed case of Star Wars figures. So you guys know the ones that you can find on eBay was still sealed, and you have like several figures. I don't remember how many figures were in the case, but I remember very clearly opening this thing, and it was filled with Star Wars Empire Strikes Back figure. I don't remember which one it was, but my God, it was amazing. I'm gonna go check the questions. I have to get better at this. Okay, questions. Ouvrez, fermez la carte. They say open the card. What card? What card are you talking about? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to check them afterwards, and it would still work probably. Okay. So back then, so famous Kenner case that we received for Christmas, full of Star Wars, 9 figures back then. See, yeah, that's it. And it was amazing. It's one of my, I don't know if I could say one of my, we say the wow factor in English. In French, c'est comme l'affaire qui m'a jeté à terre le plus, là. C'est quand ma mère nous a acheté la fameuse caisse de Kenner remplie de figurines. On a ouvert ça, puis il y avait, comme François dit, 9 figurines mint on card. Puis je me rappelle, il était séparé par des papiers. Il me semble, même dans ce temps-là, il était séparé par des papiers. Puis ça, moi, ça m'avait fasciné de penser qu'il était séparé par des papiers. J'ai comme, wow! Anyway, c'était the good old days. And what happened back in these years, it was the beginning of the video clubs. So first up, the first one that opened near my house was called the Multivideo back in Laval, which is a city right next to Montreal. Je me rappelle, moi, en ces mêmes années-là, c'est l'ouverture des clubs vidéo. Et dans ce temps-là, on s'est abonné chez Multivideo à Laval, sur le boulevard La Concorde. And I'll always remember when we went there, we were, me, my brother, and my father, and I started looking around for what movies I wanted to bring back home, and Star Wars was right there. And I'll always remember my father said, "Which one do you want?" My brother took something like a horror movie or something, whatever. But me was like, I remember seeing the box Star Wars, and I said, that's what I want to see. And I brought back home it was on Beta. It was not on VHS, because back then Beta and VHS were like fighting one another. And back home we had a Beta, so it was a smaller tape. Anyway, so I remember watching Star Wars at home for the first time and being able to pause and back, forward, and back. Anyway, good old days. Um, After that, I'm not sure if I've watched Empire Strikes Back. Uh, I remember renting it. That's very clear because there was like one tape available or two tapes available, and je me rappelle de l'avoir loué encore une fois au multi-vidéo. On l'attendait avec un de mes amis. We were waiting for it with my friend, and the guys that were working there were watching us like, are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna stay here all day? Because we were waiting for the guy to bring back the tape and just to leave right away and go watch Empire Strikes Back. On attendait que le gars ramène sa cassette, puis qu'on puisse partir tout de suite avec. C'était comme, ouais, on Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. Um, so the other thing that I remember very clearly is also when Return of the Jedi came out. That I'm 10,000% sure that I saw it in the movies. I was 9 years old. Ça, je suis sûr, j'ai vu Retour du Jedi en salle, and I even remember where I saw it. I remember especially where I saw it because, yeah, it's all great memories. I mean, that's the reason why we're vintage kids, and I thought that it was something important to tell you guys and help you remember also your memories of it. So back then, when Return of the Jedi came out, it was only available in Montreal, and it was playing at this place when it came out first. And the movie theater was called oh my God, c'est le Parisien? Yeah, c'est le Parisien? François, tu peux peut-être m'aider là-dessus. Il me semble que oui, le Parisien là à Montréal. Ah oui, oui, c'est ça. Le Parisien, t'arrivais, tu rentrais, puis t'avais des escaliers qui montaient avec, t'avais sans des rideaux sur les côtés des escaliers. So there was this big and great place to go watch movies in Montreal, and it was called Le Parisien, like Paris. And I remember going there with my brother, my mom, and my friend Phil. Also, we're still friends, but we always the Phils. And the thing was that we knew already. Someone has told us back then that there was the reveal of Darth Vader taking his helmet off, and that was the thing that I was so excited to go see. On avait appris que dans le temps, il n'y avait pas Internet. Back then, there were no Internet. So it was your friend that already saw it and told you, Vader's taking his helmet off. Is there, what? Come again? So we were like expecting to see Vader take his helmet off. And I remember going inside that movie. I was really impressed because it's a big, big, big place in Montreal. For a kid, that 9-year-old kid, it was big for me. And I remember leaving afterwards, and we were outside going back to the car. Je me rappelle, après qu'on avait vu le film, on s'en retournait à l'auto avec ma mère, puis on parlait de la scène quand Vader il enlève son masque. Pour moi, c'était comme... It was like something so incredible. It really left a mark. I mean, yeah. So that's a great memory for me. Fait que moi, je me rappelle encore quand Vader avait enlevé son masque, on parlait de ça, c'est comme, oh my God. So I was really impressed with the original trilogy. I was right in the good age, right age. And now Asbury is going to ruin those card backs. Yeah, is it true that they'll stop making bubbles? I saw something go around that there won't be any more card backs with bubbles. They'll be in like card back bubble, not plastics. Anyway, that's something I heard recently, and I was like, "What?" Yeah, it's for the environment, man. So, yeah, I think we're part, man. Um, so, um, so okay, go check back to my other notes. So back then, what I really remember playing with, donc ce que je me souviens quand j'étais plus jeune, mes figurines préférées, my favorite figures, the ones that I really enjoyed. Like I said, there was this great upside down Droid Factory. I really enjoyed playing with. Uh, and then I don't know why, but one of my favorite figure, and not because it was my favorite figure in the movie, it was one of my favorite figure because of his harm. It's Bosk. Uh, and the funny thing is, when I got older, my mother gave away all my Star Wars toys to someone in the family. Oh, but you know, this little kid also want to play with your toys. I was like, I'm leaving. That's it. I'm gone. You're only 5. I'm not 5. I'm out of here. No, I was not 5, but I don't remember what how old I was. But anyway, I really love Bosk, and the reason why is that of his chop. I don't know. You can see that he has this hand that could like go through anything. It's like machete. Anyway, I freaked out about this guy, and his arm were longer also. So it was like, oh man, this guy is pretty cool. So I really enjoyed Bosk, and the reason why I was saying that my mother gave them my toys away, well, most of them, is that a few years later I found my Bosk in one of the in the closet or something, and it was right there. And so, oh my God, it's my only action figure left, but it's not that one. Uh, my personal one, I think it's my daughter that has it in her house with her mom. Anyway, donc euh, j'ai trippé moi sur Bosk à cause de sa main. Je trouvais que il était différent de tous les personnages. Premièrement, son gun était différent. His weapon was different. And his hand was pretty cool. Sa main était vraiment trippante. Puis c'est ça. J'ai trippé sur Bosk beaucoup. Uh, Another thing that I really enjoyed back then, it was getting my mail away ones by mail. I remember waiting for my Num Nub for an eternity. I mean, back in Canada, they were saying like 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, sure, more like 6 months to 8 months. But I recall receiving in the mail my yeah, he survived. Um, yeah, the karate chop action. Yeah, you're right, from Chuck Norris. Yeah, you're totally right. Um, so I remember receiving this guy by mail. I was freaking out. Uh, I don't know if I brought my Emperor. Donc, j'ai fait commander avec les pops par la poste pour avoir mon Yum Nub que j'ai reçu par la poste. Et je crois qu'on pouvait même le recevoir avant que le film sorte. I think that we would receive Yum Nub before the movie would came out. Is that possible? It rings a bell. Or, I got the Emperor. Yeah, I've got the Emperor too. I thought I brought it with me, but nope. I think I left it in the other room. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Uh, Something that I really remember back then is when Return of the Jedi came out, there were lots of the catalogs. I don't brought one right now. Je me souviens des catalogues qu'on avait. They started with other brands. Yeah, you're right. Um, so what I remember back then is receiving these catalogs and seeing what toys were coming from Revenge, from Return of the Jedi. And one that I remember, the day that there's one day that I remember very clearly that we went, me and my mom, to pick this toy. It's the biker scout with well, the biker scout, the figure was not included with the speeder bike, but I remember going to the store and purchase my speeder bike, and this vehicle, yeah, I could say it's a vehicle, was my favorite. I mean, I love the X-wing. I love the which one did I have back then? I wrote it down here. Donc moi c'était l'engin qui m'a fait triper le plus là, hey, avec le gun en dessous pareil comme dans le film. And the fact that when you push that button, the guy flies out. I mean, it was perfect. It was like the perfect toy. Moi j'ai pris en note. Je me souviens, j'avais Speeder Bike, j'ai trippé sur Bossk, j'avais le Faucon Millennium. I used to have the Millennium Falcon, and I'll tell you something about the Falcon in just a few minutes, what I did with mine. After that, I received I think that was more in the Return of the Jedi era. I received the X-Wing Battle Damage one when you see on the box. I don't know if it's only with the Canadian box. Je sais pas si c'est juste avec la boîte canadienne, mais le Battle Damage one with the image from Dagobah with Yoda. So I don't remember, not sure, I would have to check. I don't recall which one it was. And I love the twin pods. I had the twin pods from Bespin we could put 2 action figures, and yeah, that was a great one that I loved playing with. And I'll also receive a mini rig. I remember my favorite mini rig was the Imperial Shuttle, but the mini one. And I never received the Imperial Shuttle. I don't know if to be honest with you, I don't even know if it was available in Canada. Probably it was, but it was a big ship, and so my mother bought me this mini rigs, and for me it was the Imperial Shuttle. But we could only put one figure, and I was always doing the beginning of the Return of the Jedi first scene when Vader arrives with the shuttle with the wings. It was favorite scene for me in Return of the Jedi as a kid. I've been blown out by the scene. It's so simple. Anyway. Donc moi j'ai trippé sur les premières scènes de Return of the Jedi quand Vader il arrive sur l'étoile de la mort avec l'Imperial Shuttle. J'avais le petit Imperial Shuttle et j'ai trippé là. Fait que yeah, my brother had a snow speeder. It was my brother received a snow speeder. You're right. With the electronics under, with that little cube there. I mean, it was a great ship also. What else do I have in my notes there? Yeah, Droid Factory. And the other thing that I really enjoyed, I want to tell a little something about that. We went to a store in Canada, and in another probably live sale or something, I talked about that store in the past, but I'm going to make a little parenthèse on it again. Just take a sip. Over here, I don't know if it existed in US or elsewhere in Canada, but probably elsewhere in Canada. But the store was called Distribution au Consommateur. Okay, and in English it was consumer. I'm not sure how it was called in distributor, consumer distributor or something like that. And that store, you would go in the store, there was nothing in the store. There were no display, nothing. So you would enter that sort of weird room. There were several, I remember there was jewelry and little things, but no toys. And what we had to do is go on the desk, use the catalog, and write down the number of the item that you wanted. So I would say, I'm here to get my speeder bike. So you find the speeder bike in the catalog, and it's number H1, whatever. So you write it down, you write your name, and how many you want. You take your paper, and you bring it to this lady that works behind the counter. And you wait. You fucking wait like you're waiting for your meal in a restaurant. Donc, moi, quand je me rappelle, quand je suis allé chercher le speeder avec ma mère, c'était sur le coin Saint-Martin des Laurentides. C'est là qu'il y avait le distribution consommateur, si vous vous souvenez, distribution consommateur. Et aux distributions consommateurs, pour ceux qui n'ont pas connu ça, il fallait que tu rentres là, il n'y avait pas rien dans le magasin, c'était juste des comptoirs. Il y avait un petit peu d'affaires, des bijoux, tout ça, mais tu ne pouvais pas te promener dans le magasin, il n'y avait pas d'allée. Tu avais juste des madames, puis dans le milieu, tu avais les catalogues. Fait que tu venais là, tu checkais dans ton catalogue, tu voulais voir ce que tu trouvais ce que tu avais besoin, et il y avait un numéro pour chacun des items. Bon, ben, tu avais le numéro pour le speeder bike, qui était le HK 3228-4. Tu rentrais ça sur ta petite feuille noire et bleue. Je sais pas pourquoi je me rappelle que la feuille était en noir, en blanc et en bleu et en noir. En blanc, bleu, en noir, en blanc, c'est mélangeant. On rentrait ça et on donnait ça à la madame qui était en arrière du counter. Donc, on donnait ça à la madame, puis la madame, elle s'en allait. Puis elle dit, OK, ce sera pas long, je m'en vais chercher ça en arrière. Là, c'est comme en arrière, shit, amène-moi en arrière, moi, si les jouets sont là. And after waiting several minutes, that seems eternity for a kid that is waiting for his Star Wars toy. She would come out with your box, and she would call your name. Madame Thibodeau, Madame Thibodeau, or would say Madame Leblanc, Miss Leblanc. And I would run, and they would give me that box, and there it was. It was the famous green box with the flap on top, and there you go. The problem with that store, and I have mint on chart, but I forgot to brought it out. They would put huge stickers on the box, stickers with their numbers that they would use back, but not backstage, but in the back store. I'm out of focus. So you would get a big sticker, but I mean, back then most of us would throw away our box or our card backs, so it was part of life. So I remember buying that speeder bike. And the other thing that I really, really enjoyed as a kid was my Jabba the Hutt playset. I've enjoyed so much that playset, and for me it was a really, really cool playset. First of all, I was fascinated with Jabba the Hutt. The character in the movie. I'm really out of focus, huh? Yeah. Oh, I'm back. So, a few years ago, I was able to find one that is not sealed, open, but all, everything is in the box, and everything is in his baggies, and all the inserts are there. So I was able to purchase one. I'm going to show it to you in a few seconds. I wanted to say something also about another thing that I forgot. Yeah, the other playset that I used to have from Empire Strikes Back is the Oth playset with the thing that would fall there, the tunnel thing, and which is what was the other one? I think that was about it for. Oh yeah. One thing that I forgot to say is back then, one of the only toy that was left in my house back in the 90s was the Death Star playset from A New Hope. So I have no recollection of receiving that playset, but I know that we received it probably in 1977. But like I said, I was 3 or 4 years old, so I don't recall. But I played tons of hours with the Death Star playset. It was one of my favorite things because it was huge. It was huge. Donc c'est ça. Moi je me rappelle, on avait le playset du Death Star et j'ai joué des centaines d'heures, c'est pas des milliers d'heures avec ça. Donc, un autre des playsets que j'ai vraiment trippé quand j'étais plus jeune, c'est le playset de Jabba. C'était pas le playset, ça, Jabba. So that's what I was talking about. So this is my playset that I was lucky enough to find. It's not sealed, but I'm gonna open it just for you. Take it out of the acrylic case. Hopefully, it won't fall. There you go. Yeah. Ian sold me that great acrylic case especially for that set. So there it is. This is, I remember when I purchased, when I was a kid, this playset. I really loved that playset. And this one is, like I said, everything is still sealed. Oh, that's not the right side to open. There it is. So if I open it, as you can see, everything is still intact. All in original baggies. So yeah, that's one of my favorite pieces from my collection because it brings back memory, and I played hours and hours and hours with my Jabba the Hutt playset. Let's put him back in the acrylic case before it falls on the floor and I throw myself off a bridge. There you go. Go back there, my friend. C'est pas une mauvaise chose de faire prendre l'air des fois. It's not a bad thing for them to breathe a little sometimes. They are stuck in acrylic cases for so long. There you go. So yeah, that's one of my great memories. My Jabba the Hutt playset. It's a great piece. There you go. Thank you, Ian, if you're watching, for this magnificent acrylic case. So don't worry, that fell off, but it was that came to the floor, but it's all good. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's very cool. Both arms are missing. Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. Also, what we used to have for us to visit our friends with our Star Wars action figures. Me, it was the Darth Vader one. I did not have the C-3PO one. I had the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader case. This is not the one that I used to have when I was a kid. I did not get the vinyl cases. J'ai pas eu les caisses en vinyle. J'en ai là ici. Là. I have some over here. Well, I have like 10 of them, but they're stacked one on another, so I'm not gonna take them out. But I remember really enjoying my Darth Vader case. It was something pretty cool, and I was like leaving at my friends, making sure that which one I was bringing and which figures and everything. After Star Wars, because after 1993, once Return of the Jedi was over, we never thought that we would see another Star Wars again. But they did the Ewoks movie, and I remember the rumor that was running around was that I just got the Vader case about a year ago, but still have the vinyl case. Nice. Oh, nice. And it's the one that you used to play with. This is great. I mean, that's an amazing story, man. Yeah, of course, lunch boxes. I sold one. I just sold a Return of the Jedi one, and over here's something cool I can talk about. Is this? You guys in the U.S. Used to have the metallic lunch box, but over here in Canada we have this company called Thermos, and they did these plastic Thermos lunchbox, and everyone used to have this lunchbox Thermos. The only thing is that it's a regular lunchbox, but they will only change the sticker in the front. So the blue ones were the Star Wars ones, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And the difference is also that the Thermos inside for the soup or whatever, your drink, your hot beverages, but whatever, would not have any stickers or marking for Star Wars or the Transformers, so it was like a regular one. So these are pretty hard to get because they're only available in Canada. But that's another story. That's another podcast right there. Where was I? Okay, yeah. So once Star Wars, Return of the Jedi was out of the theaters, we ended up having no more Star Wars, and they did the Power of the Force line, which I did not see. I don't recall seeing them in the stores personally. But back then, I switched to G.I. Joes because G.I. Joes were playing in every Sunday morning. Donc, dans ce temps-là, j'ai switché sur les G.I. Joe. I had some of my stuff stolen. Oh, man. When I was a kid, the Vader case was one of them. I bought another case. Yeah, good, man. Yeah, that's exactly what I love to do is purchasing my stuff that brings me back my memories. And I did the same thing with the E.T., the extraterrestrial stickers. I'll bring them one day at another podcast. But anyway, that's another great story to tell. So I collected G.I. Joes. So for a little while, maybe for a year or I don't remember, maybe 2 years, I really loved the G.I. Joes, and it was okay, but nothing like Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars was still like my primary love in toys. And oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. Here's another great action figure that I loved as a kid. This is the famous dog. I don't remember his name, but from Battlestar Galactica, back from the 1970 show. And I love this dog. I always love dogs. And this was my favorite action figure from that series. I don't remember having any other action figure. And I would play Star Wars with this dog. And in my imagination, this dog was a Star Wars dog. Boxy. Yeah, I think that, yeah, you're right. So Boxy was the Star Wars dog. See? Really enjoyed that dog, but this one, like most of them, the tail is gone. Anyway. And then, these guy came out. Yeah. These guy came out. And to be honest with you, I think this is my last love. My last crush. Toy crush. As a kid. Because after that, I was getting too old to, well, for me, I started to play with girls. No, that was more fun. I started playing something else, but I really spent a few years being crazy about the Transformers, and Optimus Prime was like the king. And this is my original one. This is mine. I don't have all the pieces, but that's really the one that I played with as a kid. Sadly, one of the leg is broken. I glue it back because it's in my display. But that's my real Optimus Prime, the one that I played with so many hours. I mean, the fact that this action figure is mainly all in plastic, but the windshield is in metal. That was this. I mean, that as a kid, it's like, there's something wrong there, but good idea. Yeah, so that's my Optimus Prime. Really, really enjoyed the Transformers. I also have my that's Soundwave, Shockwave, Soundwave. That's my Soundwave with his tape there. The doors missing, like most of the doors came out and broke or something. Anyway, I still have a few of the accessories, but that's mine. That's the one that I received at Christmas, or I don't remember when I received it. Let me check your comments. I'm missing stuff here. Muffin was the dog's name. Muffin? Oh my God, you're kidding me. Daggett. I think it was his name. That's right. I said Daggett. You're losing me, man. Damn it, it's a damn it doll. Need to have it. My little bro was huge into Transformers. Yeah, I was into girls around then. Yeah, see, after that, I was more into girls. Well, not yet into girls, but you know what I mean. Muffet. Isn't that the guy that works, that got all the money there? Anyway, saying. So, Soundwave, love the voice of this character. Oh, man. I still have my Mirage, which is the Formula One car. I still have my Megatron. I still have my Megatron, but my Prime, Optimus Prime, is still my greatest one that I prefer. I also have some Insecticons also in my shelf there. So these were really some of the last toys that I really collect and I really enjoyed receiving at Christmas. But one year in particular, there was something that I was really crazy about. I don't remember if it's after Transformers. So maybe it was, I don't know. I would have to check on, is there a date? There's no COO on this guy. Anyway, one of my last fun toys was this guy. So this is Michael Knight. I used to love Knight Rider. I would watch Knight Rider every week. I was crazy about that car, and to be honest with you guys, until this day, for me, my favorite car is still KITT. When I'm lucky enough to see a model just like KITT, it was a Pontiac Grand Dame. I'm not sure which one. The funny thing is that over here now it's like at 5 minutes from where I live. Knight Rider is amazing, man. I did not enjoy Baywatch, by the way, and didn't never watch Baywatch, but this guy in Knight Rider I was crazy about. And then I learned that he was singing in Japan. Said, what? Anyway, another story. There was this huge factory that were doing the cars, the GM cars, the Pontiacs, right next door from here back then. So we used to see tons of Knight Riders. Well, not the same color, but the same shape and everything. And I remember one time when I was young, we were on the highway heading to somewhere, and me and my brother, we saw a car with the light in front, the same car with the light in front. We freaked out. I said, "Oh my God, it's KITT!" Anyway, so I really enjoyed KITT. I used to have the car that came with this figure, but for probably back in the 90s when I started selling on eBay, I sold it, and I really regret it. So if someone knows someone that have the car still working with the license plate that talks, let me know. I want one. And if the red box is available too, I want one. So yeah, that's something that I want to try to get again. I can see that I've been talking for an hour. I'm just going to see if I forgot a few things. I don't think so. So yeah, that's about the reason why I consider myself a vintage kid. And all these stories for me are amazing. We have friends, mutual friends that we know that they prefer this toy line. Kristen Lee loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We know that Kirk's in love with the Droid Factory and the Stormtroopers. One of my friends, Sebastien Ked, is nuts about R2-D2s. Michael Evans is crazy about Boba Fett. I also loved Boba Fett. Boba Fett was one of my favorite figures. I even write it down, but I forgot. I'm not sure if I received my Boba Fett by mail. Je me souviens pas si j'ai reçu mon Boba Fett par la poste, mais j'ai capoté sur Boba Fett. It was one of my favorite figures back then. I had that Michael Knight kit as well. Man, Greg, I remember the Christmas that I received it. It's also one of my favorite gift that I received on Christmas night. Ugh, anyway, so many great memories. Now you're gonna be stuck with Muffet. His name was Muffet, but his type, called it Daggett. Oh, combination of Boxy. I googled. Good, Google is your friend. Um, I was a big fan of Battlestar Galactica. And there's only one thing that I forgot to talk about. I also received, and I was not necessarily a big fan of the movie, but the movie was still great. Clash of the Titans. J'ai tripé sur un film un peu, là, c'est le Clash des Titans, with the horse that was flying with the wings, and this guy like looks like a gladiator, and the famous toy. Oh, that would be a great toy. I would love to see in person. You remember the baddie in that movie? The I just don't remember the name, but the lady with the snakes all over her head. Donc, il y avait une madame, là, c'était un serpent avec une tête, puis ses cheveux, c'était des serpents. And when they will look into your eyes, you would turn to stone, just like my mother-in-law do. No, I'm kidding. I love my mother-in-law. Pegasus. Yeah, was that the guy, or was that the horse or the lady? I don't remember. I have to watch that movie again. I haven't watched that movie like for ages. Medusa, yes, Medusa, exactly. And I know that they did a toy of Medusa, and I remember I was hoping to receive that toy back then. Yeah, with the Medusa head, yes. And back then, I used to have the horse with the wings, and the figure that would go the hero from that movie. And back in that movie, there's like Phil Tippett's working on that movie, I think. Was it Lucasfilm, ILM, that did the stop motion with the skeletons that are fighting with the hero there? Anyway, I don't remember. I really have to watch that movie again. It would be a great idea to do something great to do and see it with new eyes. 47 years old eyes. Mais non, c'est ça. Fait que j'avais aimé ça, et j'avais le cheval avec les ailes puis le personnage qu'elle a dessus. Ça a été un autre des jouets que j'ai beaucoup aimé. So you guys, I think that's it for today. We've been I went through everything I want to talk about. I'm gonna put up the other questions. I have no clue how this works, but you told me that you saw the first question. I'm gonna put the second one. So the first question was, did you saw the original trilogy in a cinema? And the new question is, what toy was your favorite when you were young? Not toy lines. What toy? Only one. Like people love Boba Fett. People love, like I said, maybe the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? Or we talked about Optimus. I mean, I really love Optimus. We all have that special toy from that special toy line that it was our favorite. So I'm curious to know, what was your favorite toy back then? I hear about your memories. Bring back a lot of memories for me, Jim. That's why I'm doing this. This is amazing. I just didn't know what to talk about today. I almost talked about vintage collection. Then I said, oh, perhaps I'm gonna. I said, no. I have to talk about the reason why we're vintage kids, and that's exactly it. I want to bring you back to that childhood and remember how fun it was. It still is, because we're still playing with them. We're able to purchase the figures that we loved back then. And I mean, I don't necessarily play with them. I know Kurt plays with his stormtroopers even when he's on the toilet. But it's just the fun to see them and remember how much it was great to spend an hour or even 15 minutes or a full weekend playing with your friends or playing alone and creating your universe. So yeah, it's a trip down memory lane. So I really enjoyed that one. It was I think I had a great idea. So $6 Million Man, Transformers, GI Joes, all kinds of stuff. So that's it, guys. So if you have any suggestions for next week, si vous avez des suggestions pour le sujet de la semaine prochaine, ne vous gênez pas. Go ahead and you can write me. You can write down in the comments. I'll also leave this podcast available on Yoda's Workshop. You can invite your friends if you know Yoda's Workshop is for collectors that helps one another. So you can trust everyone that is over here because mainly they are people that I already talked with, or it's people that I've already did trade or sold stuff or purchase items, or they are on other groups that I'm on, so I trust them. And that's the reason why Yoda's Workshop is here, is to have a community where we all can trust one another and help ourselves. Well, help each other, not ourselves. That sounded weird. Donc, c'est pour ça que Yoda's Workshop est là, c'est pour qu'on puisse s'entraider les uns les autres, qu'on ait une communauté de collectionneurs qui est là pour le plaisir de la chose. So that's it. I hope you'll have a great week. Tomorrow I'm moving my mother out of her house. It's going to be a rough day for her and for me, my brother. But hey, it's part of life. Life goes on. And I think it's going to be a great thing. So, yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, you're looking for any items, or you have any suggestion for next week, let me know. I'm always happy to reply to you guys. And take care. Oh, just one last thing. Don't forget, this podcast will also be on YouTube. So go on YouTube and subscribe to this channel, which is the Yoda's Workshop channel. You'll always have the podcast available, all the episodes, and all the little videos that I can make for if I go to a Comic-Con or something, or whatever. So take care. Have a great weekend. Merci d'avoir été là. Thank you for being with me tonight. It was fun. Can't wait to see you guys next week. J'ai bien hâte déjà la semaine prochaine. Be safe, be good, be wild, be you. Bye bye.